and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I do apologize. Oh, as I have to turn my camera back on. But I do apologize for the stream going down as we have returned with the LatAm Legends Series number 2. Unfortunately, my internet did cut out for a good almost half hour, so I do apologize. Shout out to those that did stick around so we can continue the series, and hopefully those that did miss us can find the VOD on YouTube, can find the VOD so they can continue and see the conclusion of said show match. As a reminder, this is a best of seven show match between Juanito and Cham, and we are jumping in to game number 4. Again, we were in the middle, or I say middle, we were in the beginning of game 4 when the internet did cut out, so I do apologize. We can jump right back on in. For those that remember what was happening in game 4, SpeCial opened up 2x Reaper with a very aggressive opener, and Cham actually did decide to stay in gas, take a second gas geyser defensively, and he's rushing into a lair. So far, I believe unscouted. So 2-based lair as a reaction out of Cham. I was actually just about to discuss kind of what we often see as a reaction as the internet cut out. I was talking about how we often do see maybe Ling Bane all-in reactions and responses, Roach all-ins instead. So Bane all-ins, Roach all-ins as a reaction, as a response to 2x Reaper. We rarely see 2-based lair as a reaction. So this is a really bold move. I'm still not entirely sold on it. I'm not entirely convinced, especially considering what the follow-up is going to be. We'll get into it as we are jumping back into our game. Here we go. Reapers, they poke into the main. They're going to be zoned away by the queens, and the Reapers fail to scout the main base. They don't get eyes on the gas. They don't get eyes on the would-be lair either. The lair is halfway done, and so far, Cham has kept it hidden. The Reapers, they rotate back into the natural base. So far, the queens are, again, trying to keep up. They head into the mineral line. So far, no major economic damage has been dealt, and Cham, he reacts well. He pulls away. He keeps up with the Reapers. Link Speed kicks in, and now the Reapers will not get into the bases. Back at home, what is the follow-up? 2x Reaper into a 4x follow-up. 4x mass bio. Now, because of this follow-up, this might just be a hard counter to 2-base Muta. If the plan here is to go into a Spire and to go 2-base Muta, I mean, there's going to be Mass Marine. There it is. Spire is being thrown down, but we have 4 Raxes massing up Marine. Stim is halfway done as well. This is going to be a hefty army to work with here. I'm not entirely convinced that these Mutas will get much done. Potentially, they can harass, and as the bio army moves out, maybe they can get into a mineral line and kill some workers. That is true, but I'm just worried about the main push. I'm worried about the main attack from SpeCial. So here we go. At least SpeCial doesn't know, right? At least he doesn't know what's going on. At least he's not aware. Checking his vision once again. He didn't get eyes on the gases at the natural. He didn't see the gases in the main, and he did not see the lair itself. So SpeCial's working with very incomplete information. Otherwise, I'm sure he would be pushing sooner, right? I'm sure he'd want to be pushing as Stim finishes and go for a Beyond move out, which is pushing before the upgrade is done and the upgrade kicks in as the attack happens. Reapers are still being active. They can still potentially go into the main. True. As they poke into the natural. Gonna be zoned away. And here comes the main army. Jesus, that's a lot of Marines. And this should end the game. It should just end the game here with only Mutas, a handful of Lings, a handful of Queens to defend. Like, there is no shot that Cham can ever survive this. No shot. No way. As Reapers, they poke in, the mass bio army does rush forward. It's now revealed. And again, Cham has nothing. there's nothing here, Pappy. We got 3 queens. We got a handful of Lings. We got the boys that we can pull. I suppose there we go. The boys are being pulled. Mutas, they try to rush forward. But again, Mutas are so vulnerable here. Every drone is going to go down. 22 drone kills. 22 drones. Even Mutas are being targeted. Nice target firing at a SpeCial. SpeCial, he kills 22 drones, 22 Lings, and 3 Mutas. And again, there's still more reinforcements back at home. Still more man with gun. Man with gun is all you need, Pappy. It's all you need. How many Mutas left? 4. There's 4 Mutalisks. And SpeCial, yeah, he can just keep pushing. He can just keep pushing, keep on going. He is out trading Cham. SpeCial has the better economy, has a 2-base saturation, and I can't say the same about Cham. Cannot say the same. That's Marines, they do start to step back. Again, nice kiting, nice trading. Picks off every single Zergling. Now going for the Mutas. Doesn't get any of the Mutas though, we'll say that, but still a better trade for SpeCial. Back at him, he's got his turrets. He's got 1 turret in the main, 2 turrets here at the natural. We got a 4th turret on the way in the main base as well. Getting to 4 turrets. Protecting the production. Oh. And once again, Cham is looking for another way in. Catching out a handful of Marines. Pulling back around. Kills the gas geyser. Here comes the main push. Back at home, there should be no banelings. Yeah, there's no upgrades, no banelings. Once again, still purely a marine. Sorry, purely a Ling Muta. Bonito moves out. Oh. Sending back Cham. Trying to catch up the mutas. I'll be honest, I don't really think he needs to. I feel like if he just pushes, he can overwhelm. But there's a decent chunk of Lings at least, I suppose. And especially just playing it safe. Just playing it safe. Here we go. Now the initial tank has arrived. We have 43 Marines. That's a lot of Marines, Pappy. Up to 45. And again, the reason why this is looking so dire is because Cham was hard countered. Right? Cham, he chose to go 2-base Muta against 4-axe Marine. The Lings, they come in from behind. Marines, they just stand still. They don't even have to kite. Yeah, they push forward here. GG gets called, and SpeCial ties up the series 2-2. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, SpeCial opening up 2-axe Reaper, and Cham responding with 2-base Muta. Unscouted, but SpeCial was able to blind counter. He blind countered by going to 4-axe Mass Marine into a sim timing, and again, again, Ling Muta cannot deal with Mass Marine. Banelings were non-existent, no upgrades for the ground army either. Going into these Mutas, they're ideal for harassing, they're not ideal for defending. Not these main pushes, these main attacks. That is where Mutas do struggle, and we saw Cham struggle. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're tied up 2-2, and we are now getting into game number 5 to try to go for the tiebreaker here. Who takes the lead in the series? Who gains momentum? Here we go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Title Citadel, we have the Mexican Terran player. We have the Red Terran tying up the series, and bringing us here to game 5, it is SpeCial. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. Oh, we have the blue Zerg player, the Mexican Zerg. It is Cham. Here we go. So yeah, getting into game number 5 here again, just to break that tiebreaker. Once again, SpeCial is getting into that low ground setup. Now we've seen a 2-Rax Reaper out of SpeCial, that is true. We've also seen Rax into Factory into a low ground setup here with a 1-1-1. We also saw that, I believe it was game 1 or game 2 of this series. Because of the disconnect, it all kind of blends together a little bit here. But we have seen some variety out of SpeCial. We'll see how Cham reacts this time. You could argue that maybe there's a higher chance that 2-base Muta would work this time, but we'll see. As the Overlord moves out, gases are being taken. It's not going to be 2-X Marine. SpeCial is building up. Yeah, so it looks like Rax expanded the factory. Usually it's the factory after the CC, but we'll keep an eye on SpeCial. As it is not 2-X Reaper. Back at home, hatch gas pool, standard opener out of Cham. And welcome to Title Citadel. Honestly, a map that we rarely get to see. This map has some unique features. We have the gold base bottom left. True. There is a gold base available. We have some other fringe bases, but honestly, these fringe bases never really come into play. Often we do get some shorter games. I will say that the bases here, the initial 3-base setup is relatively defensible, but as you take a 4th and 5th, you spread yourself very thin. You spread yourself very, very thin, and it is imperative that you keep up with the army movement of your opponent to be able to be in position to defend, which can be difficult. Also, my apologies, this is a different variation. Last time we saw Rax CC into Factory, this time Rax Factory into CC. So faster Factory, delayed commentator. This is much more aggressive by SpeCial, much more aggressive. And this can even lead into Hellbats. So we'll keep an eye on any kind of would-be armory. Assuming he does go into Reacted Hellion. So first Hellion is on the way. Reaper picks in. And Cham did scout the build. And Cham, he saw the timing of the Factory, he knows. He's aware. Speaking of Reactor, there it is, Reactor on the Rax. Not too fond of this, but he's doing it again. We are going into 2 base muta. 2 base muta as the follow-up. Now, to be fair, oh, my apologies. He's going into 2 base Roach. I like this. Cham, he knows that the Factory was prioritized. He knows that it's going to be an aggressive build. He knows that there's a high chance it's going to be something like Hellbats or something more committed here, just because of the faster Factory. Meanwhile, Double Reaper gets into the main and does get a full scout. Yeah, full scout, nice surround. Oh my god, nice surround out of Cham. He shuts down the Reapers, but they pay for themselves by scouting and confirming the gases and the lair. Now, quickly checking the vision SpeCial, he gets behind the mineral line. He confirms it is roaches, not mutas. I was going to say that in SpeCial's mind, it could still be muta play, but now he confirms it is not. Well, there's a much lower chance now. As the Roach Warren does complete, it is going to be not Reactor Hellion, it is going to be Cyclone production, Cyclone Marine into an early drop, into an early push. Oof, that's a Hellion, does barely slip away on 1 HP. The 1 HP Hellion. And now the question becomes, is Cham going for an all-in, or is he going to drone from here? He's making a handful of roaches. He's supply blocked, so it's hard to really say for certain. But a brutal supply block there for Cham. Cham is taking a 3rd base. The supply block is still ongoing. Just now breaking out. Cham. Speaking of supply block, Cham gets supply block again. Yeah, brutal supply block. Overlords are being made. Cham, he shouldn't take any more critical damage at least. He's keeping up with the drop. Meanwhile, SpeCial going for the tank, going for the Liberator. He is going for what should be, I was going to say an all-in, but he's getting a 3rd CC behind this. This is very committed. This is very tech-heavy, but he is expanding. SpeCial, he finds another Overlord. And he does get a kill. Oh god, the range is crazy. The range is insane. Kills another Overlord. Another supply block. We have 3 Overlords on the way for Cham. There's so many supply blocks this game. And it looks like Cham is going for an all-in. I did just see a wave of Lings in production. Now the Ravagers are morphing in as well. Yeah, Cham is committing. Back at him, what does SpeCial have? He has a defensive tank. He has a tank. He has a wall as well. Cham is looking pretty secure. Of course, Biles can make short work of that tank. True. Drop hits a 3rd, and Cham ignores it. Cham, he ignores it. He's going for the all-in. We're going for the all-in. Ling speed just now kicking in. Cham knocking down the wall. Breaks through the depot. Is aware of the tank. And he will deny any kind of 3rd tank, takes down the tech lab. But now there's 2 tanks in position. Oof. Yeah, there are 2 tanks in position. The wall is vulnerable. Where are those Zerglings? As he is banking up. He's banking up his Lings. Now moves out. The Liberator does confirm.
Is under attack.
The wall is open. The Link Flood is coming. You can see here that SpeCial is creating a choke point, allowing his tanks to be that much more efficient. There's the scan. Army dives in, and can we get on top of the tanks? Lings, they just get annihilated. Yeah, Lings, they're just melting. Does bring down both tanks. Is it enough, though? As boys are being pulled, decent piles. But Cham, he needs more Zerglings. He needs more Zerglings. but look, it's close. It's getting close here. It looks like he barely has enough lings. We have 8 lings rolling in, takes down the final set of Marines. There's what, 3 Marines left. Tank is on the way. Yeah, tank is on the way. More lings flood in. Surround here one of the Ravagers. Oof. Ravager does get targeted down. There's 1 Ravager left. And killing 28 SCVs is nice, but he needs more damage. Remember, there's 3 CCs, there's 3 orbitals. Cham needs more damage. He's got to keep going. Oh, but now there's a tank. Yeah, now there's a tank. As deeper as they're going to be saved. Cham is getting ready for wave number 2, this time with extra Ravagers. And SpeCial, can he pull off this defense? It's going to take a while. He's making 4 Marines at a time. No second tank. If he had a second tank, then maybe. If he could set up a tank on the high ground, but he's delaying his second tank. He has no gas income. 0 gas mining. Wow, he did not pull back in a gas. Late reaction there by SpeCial. Didn't pull into gas. There's no second tank. Stim will not be a factor. Here comes the main army. Biles on the tanks. Oof, tank goes down. And Cham, I think he's done it. I think he's done it here. Without any tanks, he's going to be able to kill every single SCV. And he does. Kills all the SCVs down to 5 Marines. Down to 4, down to 3. And GG. GG gets called. The all-in is successful. And Cham takes a lead in the series. 3-2. Whew. GG, well played. Cham, he does take a lead. Again, a very intense game here. I did see that, I mean, once we saw the full wall, once we saw 2 tanks, I thought that SpeCial was going to be able to hold on. That was close. Remember, there were only 8 lings left over, but barely Cham, he broke through the siege line. He was able to break through the main army and eventually kill SpeCial. It was close. It was very, very close. GG, well played. Whew. Cham does take it, and we'll see if Cham can close out the series here and now, or SpeCial can force the ace match. Let's go. As we are loading into Mothership. So loading into that next game. Let's go. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Mothership, we have the Mexican Terran player. We have the red Terran. We have the red Terran. It is SpeCial. And spawning in the bottom right, the bottom side here of Mothership, we have the other Mexican Terran, the other Mexican player, the Mexican Zerg player, the blue Zerg for Exertis Esports. It is a Cham. Here we go. As we're getting into game number 6. Game number 6 of this best of 7. Aye. And again, we have had quite a bit of a back and forth so far. We've seen a lot of mutaplay at a Cham. A lot of mutaplay, some successful, otherwise not so much. Welcome to Mothership. It is a much larger map of the map pool. If Cham wants to play mutas, I would say that it is safer to play mutas here on Mothership. At the same time, we could see SpeCial go for a more biocentric composition this time. For now, we do see a Rax on the high ground. There's no low ground setup this time. We did mention earlier in the series, before the disconnect, how setting up on the low ground does mean that your production is exposed and you're vulnerable to roach all-ins, and we saw that play out last game, where the all-in was able to strike the natural and disrupt the factory production, was able to kill the add-on and force lift up on the factory, which delayed any kind of additional tanks. So that's one of the weaknesses of setting up on the low ground. We saw it last game. Cham, he scouts top right, and Cham, he does gamble correctly. We'll be able to confirm. Does confirm SpeCial. Let's confirm. Here, SpeCial setting up. And we'll see. I mean, we already see he's going for a 1-1 setup. We could see a third CC into a second Rax. We could see like a 3 CC 2-1-1. But for the most part, looks like a standard setup. The hidden factory is a little bit suspicious. Usually the factory is closer for an add-on swap. For the factory to be further back, it is a little bit more indicative here of a tech lab and maybe an add-on swap and maybe something more sinister after the starport. Okay. So again, usually you go for an add-on swap into reactor Hellion, but again, the factory is too far behind. It's too far back. It's too far back here. Factory into reactor into a starport. Are we feeling an armory? Are we feeling an armory into Hellbats with Marines? I'm just trying to think here, right? Because it feels a little bit weird to set up a reactor and then to add-on swap into medevacs. It's gonna be reactor Hellion, right? Reactor Hellion into Hellbats would make a little bit more sense. You wouldn't go add-on swap into vanilla Marine drop, right? Be kind of weird, but might work. And can hunt down Overlords at least. Okay, he's doing it. So we're going for the add-on swap. We're going for an early Marine drop. This is earlier than normal. Remember, it's going to be a vanilla Marine drop, so this drop can't really achieve too much damage, but as I mentioned, can hunt down these Overlords. Hunt down the Overlords and can apply earlier pressure than normal. Really quirky build. It's quirky because usually with a 2-on-1 you'd be hitting earlier with stim. Like there's no stim timing here. There's no stim timing. It's just meant to catch your opponent droning more than anything. And have that much more of a surprise factor. Yeah, now going for the add-on swap into reactor Hellion. Yeah, okay. In my brain, like this looked like the beginning of Hellbats, and that's still on the table. As now we're going back into reactor Hellion. First Overlord gets hunted down. Yep, there it is, Hellbats. Okay. Okay, we're not crazy, but we're not crazy. From the very beginning, it looked like Hellbats, and we got there, but in a weird way, right? Like I wasn't expecting that earlier add-on swap into medevacs. I was expecting earlier Hellion production. So interesting build here by SpeCial. It does mean that the Hellbats hit later. Meanwhile, yeah, this drop is not going to achieve much. Doesn't achieve much. But it is keeping Cham in the dark. True. Oh. I think... I was going to say, I think this is meant to look like a 2-on-1. The problem is that the medevacs hit a little bit too soon, right? I'd have to recheck the timings, but I think that he's trying to sell the story of a 2-on-1, and then bam, hit with Hellbats. Okay. But again, like Cham should notice the low Marine count. Like the Marine count is very low here, and there's no stim. And here we go. The Hellbats now morph in. We have the Roach production is still not yet ready. Oh, the Queens! No, they're caught off creep. Yeah, massive big off here. Massive misstep. Cham is gonna lose one. He's gonna lose two. Two Queens go down. Had to waste some transfuse. SpeCial's pushing in. Remember, no stim. But that's a lot of Marines. It's a lot of Marines here. It gets another Overlord. Again, zoning away the Lings. The Lings, they do get on top of the Marines, though. Okay, decent surround here by Cham. Decent surround will completely clean this up. And Cham is holding. Cham is holding on. He's barely holding on. He cleans this up. He preserves his drones. Liberator is being annoying. And Cham, he will lose a drone. Lose one drone, he'll lose one Roach. But Cham does defend. Ooh, Liberator gets hunted down. And now we're going to settle into mech. Okay, we have two more factories on the way. So SpeCial, he's going into mech. He's going to what looks to be battle mech initially. Early armory means early +1 vehicle weapons also on the way. But Cham is looking pretty good. Cham is on 3 bases. He's already getting into Roaches. Oh, and SpeCial is going into battle mech with hyperflight rotors. Going to speed banshees. This is a more modern variation of mech. I say modern variation. This did kind of pop up in popularity. I want to say 2024, like early 2024. We saw this from players like Ryung, from Bunny, from TY before he retired, which I think was 20. Jeez, the years blend together. Was that 2023? TY Wikipedia. When did he retire? It was... yeah, 2024. Okay. I'm not crazy. I wanted to say 2024, but at the same time, like, part of me felt like TY had been retired for a lot longer than that. But no, his retirement was recent, so... yeah. So again, this variation of Battle Mech did pop up in 2024, early. As Cham does commit, he's pushing. It's Cham behind this on a very low drone count. He's just going to commit here with Ling Roach. And he's going to get into the mineral line. SCVs are going to go down. This third base is going to be broken. Yeah, all the SCVs are falling, and it's going to be a tough hold here for SpeCial. At the same time, though, he does go for the counterattack. Hellions, they roast up those drones. Drones are getting roasted, and the Banshees will eventually kill everything. Eventually. But until then, so much economic damage. Cham, likewise, though, is losing a lot back at home. Cham is down to 42 drones. Again, the roaches are being cleaned up. Like, this was a nice push, don't get me wrong, but the Hellion counterattack here is crazy. Cham, he lost everything. He lost 16 drones here at the third base. He lost more drones here at the natural. The economic lead that Cham should have, he doesn't. He's not ahead. He fails to do damage. This is not good enough. This should have been good enough, but he just sustained too much damage back at home. If it wasn't for the Hellion run by, then he'd be fine. But Cham is behind. Cham, he is now behind. Even though he killed all the workers here at the third base, it was not good enough. SpeCial defends with the Banshees. We have more Banshees on the way. The Hellion run-bys continue. Gets a drone. Keeps Cham busy. Cham is busy back at home. SpeCial building up more tanks, building up more Banshees. And right now there's no anti-air. I mean, there's Queens and there's soon to be a Spire for Corruptors. We even had a Hydrogen. Oh. So Cham can get into Mutas, but before then, the Banshees are here. Banshees have arrived. They go for a flyby into the third base. No spores in position. All these drones are going to get caught out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drone kills. Getting up to 8. Oh, okay, not. 7 drones go down. And again, Cham's economy was already in the gutter. It's already hurting. Now even more so. Now, there is a bit of a saving grace here. It's a bit of a Hail Mary play, but Cham is going into mass muta. We have 11 mutas in production, and what shoots up? We have Hellions, we have Hellbats, we have tanks, we have Banshees. There it is. We have Banshees. Now we have Thors. I was gonna say nothing shoots up, but Thor production has begun. Thors are on the way, and Thors are gonna shut down any attempted mutas. The problem here is that the muta count isn't high enough. Right? There's 5, 6, 7 mutas. It's a very low muta count. As mutas, they do hit the natural. They get a couple of SCVs. True. Do you get a couple of SCVs? Oh god, but mutas are going down to the turrets. Oh my god. Yeah, rough losses here for Cham. The Thor pops out. The Thor will kill even more mutas. Oh, as one of them does get away. But that was 5. Jesus, 5 mutas going down to the turrets. There was a bit of miscontrol there from SpeCial, as he could have otherwise killed 1 or 2 extra mutas. But alas, did not target fire. Regardless, the main army here is looking terrifying. We got 3 Thors. Should it be 6? 6 Thors. Cham is trying to build up a Roach Hydra composition, which is not going to be ideal against this. There are just too many tanks. Just too many tanks. Cham, he would need a heavier Ling Bane composition to support this, to deal with the Hellbats. Mutas, they chip away at the army. But SpeCial is ready to A-move. It's getting ready to A-move. Cham is going to collapse in. He does catch a couple of tanks on siege. Oh god, but the tanks, they siege up regardless. They just annihilate the roaches. Massive tank shots going up. Oof. Cham going to be forced further back. More tanks are moving in. And again, Cham just can't, he cannot deal with this. The soup does lie, right? The soup lies. The supply says, oh, Cham, he's like up 20 supply. That's not good enough. It's inflated army supply because of the Roach Ravager. So Cham's army is actually smaller. Trying to move forward, does get one of the tanks. And might get a second tank. Yeah, 2 tanks, he only gets 2. 2 tanks go down. Maybe a third tank towards the end, not even. GG gets called, and SpeCial does have the series 3-3. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. GG, well played. We're going all the way to game 7. Again, winding it back. Cham, I want to praise Cham initially for defending against the quirky builds, the initial reactor marine medevac drop into Hellbats. Cham had a very nice defense. He wasn't able to counterattack and do critical damage. Unfortunately, he had nothing on him to defend, and it was a handful of Hellions which killed 20 drones. I want to say actually maybe more than 20 drones went down to that Hellion run by. The Hellions, they just crippled Cham. So even though Cham defended well initially and he counterattacked, he was crippled due to the harass, due to the run by. He lost over 20 workers and he fell behind. He stayed behind. His Hail Mary play was going to mutas, but again, there were already Thors. Thors were already in time. The mutas did not do well enough. They did not pay for themselves, and now we're going all the way to game 7. Let's go. We're going to game 7. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the red Terran player. We have the Mexican Terran tying up the series and forcing the ace match. It all comes down to this final game of this best of 7 show match. Here we have SpeCial. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player, himself. Oh no. Cham is saying, quede bien ciego, papi. De mí cuando me mataste como 30 trabajadores. He's saying that he's blind because he didn't even notice that he lost 30 drones. That's basically he's talking about the Hellion run by that we emphasized, right? There was a Hellion run by that killed over 20 workers. Cham says it killed 30 workers, and that was what won SpeCial the game. But in top left hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player. It is Cham. As the Banshees, I will say this is incorrect. It wasn't the Banshees. It wasn't the Banshees. It was the Hellions. The Hellions back. There we go. Here we go. As we are getting into the ace match, getting into game 7. It's okay. It happens to all of us, Cham. We've all been there. Hellions got like 20. Yeah, there was the Hellions that popped off. It's all good from here. From here, we are going to be building up. We have SpeCial going for a standard high ground opener this time. We have seen him go for the low ground setup twice now in this best of 7, but now he's going for a standard build or Rax expand. Meanwhile, Cham going for his own hatch gas pool. Welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is one of the smaller maps of the map pool. Aggression is favored here. And we'll see what kind of aggression our players do embrace at this time. We've seen a lot of roaches out of Cham. We've seen a lot of mutas out of Cham. Good to see it again. Nice target firing at the SpeCial. Does focus on the weakened Zergling. Gets one, doesn't get the other. That's behind this SpeCial. I keep wanting to say Cham. SpeCial is going for a third CC. Third CC before Starport. Economic build out of our Terran player. Very economic. for the first time, right? I want to say for the first time this series, we're seeing a third CC before second racks, before starport. Much more economic build this time. Alright, there it is. Starport is on the way. Do we see a standard game? We've yet to see that. We've seen a lot of aggression, a lot of all-ins, a lot of cheese, a lot of proxies. We've seen mech off of aggressive, quirky builds. But this might be the most standard game we've seen so far. This might be it. Do we macro up, Pappy? As Cham, he does pull into gas early. Okay, I mean, I say early. We've seen earlier gas income. True. So he's going to be settling in. This can lead into layer first. We'll see if he goes layer first. We'll see if he goes into earlier Evo chambers. There are games that we've seen like 4-15 layer timings. And he's working towards that 100 gas. Got my attention. We'll see if Cham does go for the lair after the queen. Queen pops out. Cham banking gas. As he goes in for the scout, confirms that it's going to be by this time. I mean, again, we did see mech at a special last game. We have extra racks on the way. And it's going to be a Roach Warren. Interesting. Again, Cham, he does have almost 200 gas already, so maybe not the most efficient setup. It's possible as well that Cham was waiting for the scout to kind of determine what he wanted to spend his gas on. And now has decided that it's going to be roaches. Going for a 5-minute lair instead. And we've been here before. I think it was either game 1 or game 2. It was game 1 on Celestial Enclave, where Cham going roaches into Roachling Bane, I mean, was abused by SpeCial's drop play, right? Cham, he had a very hard time keeping up with the drops just because of the limited anti-air. You have double Evo chamber on the way. The assumption here is that we're going to be staying with a very kind of layer tech ground-based composition. And that is where the mobility of SpeCial can excel. Roaches are amassing. We'll see if he goes into range or melee upgrades. We'll see. SpeCial does move out. Let's go to this Metamax. It is going to be melee, so it is going to be Roach into what should be Ling Bane Roach Ravager. Roaches are going to be more of a supportive unit, eventually morphing into Ravagers. Oh, and we're rushing into an early infestation pit. Okay. It's looking very similar to game 1. Very similar to this series is ending how it began. For those who weren't here at the start of the series, game 1 was on Celestial Enclave, and we had Cham going into Ling Bane Roach Ravager, into a faster Hive, into Ultra Tech, in towards Ultras, and he had a couple of safety infestors as well. He had like 2-3 infestors. And Cham, he had some nice main attacks. He would win the main fights, but the drop play tore him apart. As we would see Medevac drop into the main, drop into the natural, drop into the third, a push towards the fourth base. Like there was a little multi-pronged aggression out of SpeCial, and Cham, because of his limited anti-air, couldn't deal with the Medevacs, couldn't deal with the drops. There's a Hive. So 7-15 minute Hive here. So 7-15 Hive. Marines, they just stand and fight. They clean up most of the Lings. Jesus. Nice pick up there by SpeCial. And what's scary is that Cham is doing this without banelings. Remember, it's purely Ling Roach Ravager. That's why SpeCial can just stand and fight. Doesn't have to worry about splitting his banelings. So SpeCial, he cleans up all the Lings, stutter steps forward. And again, it's just so risky to play this style. It is so risky. Oof. SpeCial's going to be forced back. Again, he traded well for himself, but he does not break the expansion. We have 2 safety infestors on the way that will help, as that's going to be the only splash damage that Cham has, as he has no Banelings. Baneling is just now on the way, much later. So late Banelings and also late Baneling speed. Bear that in mind. This is by design. Like, this is the purpose of the build. It's not like he forgot the Baneling or anything like that. Like, no, not at all. It's intentional. It's just really risky. It's just a really risky style. As SpeCial breaks the expansion. Oh, the hatchery. Nice fungal. Yeah, fungal does land. Hatchery still goes down, and SpeCial, he will lose almost everything. 1 medevac full of Marines escapes. So a hefty trade there for SpeCial. Did kill the 5th. But because that fight went so well for Cham, now he's able to get some breathing room for the Ultras. Remember, the Hive is now done, Adrenal is on the way, and we are expecting an Ultra carry. Once Cham has the gas for it. He's forced all the way back, and this is giving a lot of valuable breathing room here for Cham. There's Baneling speed. There's the Ultra Cavern. Again, Cham's big power spike is going to be the Ultras. He's almost there. And before Cham gets into his Ultras, SpeCial has to deal more critical damage. Oh, he gets one of the Infestors. One Infestor goes down. There's 1 Infestor left. At the same time, yep, double drop on the left-hand side, catching out 3 Queens. Gets 1, gets 2, gets 3. Oof. And 3 Queens go down. You see Cham react with the entire army, and this is looking a little bit similar here to last time, to game 1. I say a little bit similar because there was no real economic damage. 3 Queens is nice, but the drones survive. Now you can see Cham splitting up his army. He has a force towards the south, he has his main army towards the top side. Cham this time is in position. It's still not going to be an easy hold though. That's a lot of mines. Yeah, Fungal doesn't quite land. Oof. We have 2 more Fungals coming in. This is going to be spending Banelings here on the Marauders. But decent Fungal clips the army. Clips the Marines. Forces back SpeCial. At the same time, we have a double drop here towards the south side. But again, Cham is in position this time. He's in position. He's having much easier rotations here compared to Celestial Enclave. Oh, even going for the Spire. Oh, this I'm not too fond of. You might be looking at this and be thinking, but Cham, he needs anti-air. He needs to deal with these medevacs. We spoke about this in game 1, that you can achieve the same success with a couple of Vipers, just because you don't want to be spending too much resources on Corruptors and on anti-air. Nice Fungal though, oh my god. Nice Fungal once again, early medevacs get away. As Marines, they once again push forward. The Queen takes down one of the medevacs. And may even get the other. Ooh, mine shots going off. Decent connections. But all the Widow Mines go down. Better trades here for Cham. Cham, he out trades. He looks down part of the army. Behind this, we have Ultra Speed on the way. Kindness Plating is already done. And we should soon see those Ultras. Now, what's scary here is that SpeCial was, I don't want to say he was all in, but SpeCial, he was very committed, and the goal was to kill. What I mean by that, where are the ghosts? Like, he's not ready for Ultras. He has a decent Marauder count. Oh, okay, he gets Fungal there. Yeah, Fungal lands on the Marauders. The Widow Mines get called out. Ultras have arrived, and again, the ghosts are not ready. The ghosts are not here. And the Ultras, they can overwhelm. Again, SpeCial's goal here, his plan was to try to end the game before the Ultras. Ooh, Banelings, they connect to the mineral line. Planetary goes down to the piles. Barely goes down. A SpeCial can replace. He's got his orbital. SpeCial hanging on there. Cleans up the 3 Ultras. Does chase us all the way back. Even catching the Infestor. Nice catch. SpeCial able to instantly counterattack. This is where the map comes into play. You can see SpeCial defended, and then bam, counterattacks immediately. Like, the map is just so small. Ah, with the Ultras! They pop out of the army in the face of SpeCial. Yeah, big swipes popping off. Okay, the army's getting low. Decent mind connection. Decent mind shots. It's still quite close. Still very tense. Oh my god. As another ultra pops out. Oof. We need an infestor here. We need a fungal. Infestors are still on the way. They're coming. Oof. Now mind shot gets baited. Oh god, the mind shots are brutal though. Where are the infestors? I swear we saw some of them pop out. Never mind. Yeah, there's been no infestors. There's 3 of them on the way. Mind shots, they pop up on the corruptors. And SpeCial's done it. Yeah, SpeCial has done it. Just parade pushing across the map. Who needs ghosts? Who needs ghosts against ultras, as he's just able to brute force the issue here. Against Cham, he has money. He has 1,600 minerals, but he just has no larva. He has no larva. He has no injects. The queens died earlier. The macro just isn't there. The production isn't there. And SpeCial is not. Again, Cham, he's got 2,000 minerals. If he could have spent his money, then I could see him holding onto the space, holding onto the expansion. But again, he had so little time to react. There are only 2 queens, so again, injections were just not available. And SpeCial, he has done it. He does overwhelm. You overwhelm, he breaks through the 5th, the 4th base, and now he's going for the kill, going for the natural. And again, Cham, he almost had it. He almost had it. He almost got there. It was very, very close. You could argue that maybe Cham overextended here at the planetary, but I would say it just comes down to lack of queens. Lack of queens, lack of injections, lack of larva, lack of reinforcements. Because the money was there. The money was there. Just needed more time, really, more than anything. Needed more time. Oh my god. Spainley's they try to roll in. GG gets called, and SpeCial, he will take the series 4-3, claiming the series and taking down Cham in this best of 7. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Congratulations here to SpeCial, to Juanito, as it does claim the series. This could have gone either way though. I will say that both SpeCial and Cham, they're very close in skill. There's a reason why this went all the way to the ace match, and again, I can see this game going Cham's way as well. Alas, he just didn't have any larva to reinforce and to rebuild and to keep that aggression going and survive the counterattack, more importantly. But again, could have gone either way. Congratulations to SpeCial. Congratulations, GG, well played. Whew, as he does win here in the rematch of the LatAm Legends Showdown, or LatAm Legends series. I want to say that for the most part, both of these LatAm Legends series have actually been SpeCial versus Cham, so we might see that again. It would be nice if we could reach out to Diego, maybe to reach out to Diego, or to reach out to Jaime as well. True. No. Hey, look, I've seen Jaime pop up every now and then. Shout out to Jaime. I think he showed up in on our channel a couple of months ago, and he even started laddering again. Like maybe 2 months ago, like November of last year, something like that. Like relatively recently. Drag him back in. But GG, well played. Congratulations to SpeCial, and again, a shout out to Cham for making a series out of this and for making it all the way to the ace match. With that, congratulations. A shout to CranKy. I did mention his name. If you don't know, CranKy Alexander, CranKy el Hermoso. He is a Spanish caster. He is one of us. He's one of us. He's one of our own. He is one of the CranKy Ducklings. And because he's one of our own, he does actually share replays whenever he can, whenever he hosts tournaments. He does host some show matches on a monthly basis. You might be familiar with the CranKy Pro Series and the CranKy Epic Series. The Epic Series is an SC Evo show match. The Pro Series is an SC 2 show match. And he does host them on a monthly basis, so you can check CranKy out there. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Just catching up with the chat. Just catching up. Just catching up. GG. When it comes to the rest of the broadcasting schedule this week, tentatively we might be casting Picasso Cup tomorrow. Maybe I do have a vet appointment tomorrow morning, so that is going to be clashing with Picasso Cup. So I might cast Picasso Cup like mid-tournament. We might jump in mid-tournament instead. We'll see. As we also have the podcast tomorrow as well. Bam. As you can see before you, this is our weekly schedule. We just wrapped up with our Tuesday broadcast of the LatAm Legends series. Again, tomorrow is going to be PegaSur Cup, and we might cast the tail end of that broadcast of that tournament. Maybe. It depends on when we're available, but that is tentatively going to be tomorrow. We have the Pondcast on Wednesday, and we have Rongi Cup on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Once again, I'm very tentative whether or not I can cast that. Unfortunately, I'm not as available in the evenings as I used to be. So because of that, it's going to be a bit of a, yeah, I'm tentative on that one. Maybe. Maybe on the Rongi Cup, which is a bit of a shame. Like, I would love to cover it, I would love to cast it, but won't necessarily be available at the time. I might be able to cast the playoffs next week, but again, it's at a really rough start time for us. Really rough start time. Oof. If we're unable to cast it live, then we might just cast it via replays maybe next month. Maybe we should be more free in February. Like, February should be a freer month for us. Again, unfortunately, here in the CranKy Ducklings, we used to cast very consistently, but things have changed IRL, and I haven't had as much free time available. We've had a very sporadic January. Unfortunately, January, it's been very sporadic. We haven't really casted too much, but coming into February, we should be back. Like, February, like, we should be a little bit more free, and we should be able to cast a lot more StarCraft. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. Yeah. Look forward to February, man. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for casting. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. We're going to be wrapping up here for the time being. And again, we might be able to cast a little bit of PegaSur Cup tomorrow morning. That'll be in, what, like 15 hours time. Around 15 hours time. Otherwise, we are going to be wrapping up. Here. Otherwise, yeah, with that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. If you want to support us, you can do so via Patreon, !Patreon in the chat. We'll give you a link to our Patreon page where you can help us support our tournaments. Our tournaments, they are funded via Patreon, and they are run on a regular basis. Once again, as I mentioned, this month we have been very inconsistent with our tournaments and with our casting, but coming into February and the rest of the year, we should be on track. The Pondcast is also going to be a bit of a busy one as well. The Pondcast has a lot to get into. There's been a lot of news being announced recently and a lot to catch up on. Oh boy, so it's going to be an intense Pondcast. We'll get there. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Ciao, baby, ciao. See you next time.